that bullying is a major problem in Hawick High School?
I think that bullying is a major problem in every school. It's also a problem in the wider sense in communities, and it can take place in sports clubs, it can take place in families, and it can take place in the workplace. But that means that we have to tackle it, and we need to tackle it head on at the high school, so that people have the confidence to deal with bullying and have the strength and the skills to be resilient, but also to know that there's clear channels that we can go through to get help.
When will Tootoot be available to the pupils?
Tootoot is basically live now. The pastoral team have been testing it out using some live data, and during the anti-bullying week, which starts on Monday the 16th, there will be a rollout through PSD, through personal support, using computer suites where every pupil will be given their individual Tootoot account with a login, a generic login, which they will then change, and that means that they then have access to the app at any point from there on. So it will be a gradual rollout over a few weeks, starting next week.
How are you going to make sure the posts are genuine and not just the pupils playing out their own trivial arguments through the app?
It's a good question. The simple answer is that we will know who the reports have come from. It doesn't mean that the person who has reported it will be in any trouble for doing so, but it means that we are able to track down whoever has shown a concern, whether it's about themselves or about others, to make sure that we're following that up and they're happy with the way it's been responded to. It means that we can respond online, so we don't actually have to meet up with the person, take them out of class, that kind of thing, if that's what they would rather avoid. Sorry.
Do you think that there are currently many pupils at Hawick High School who are not confident enough to tell somebody that they're being bullied?
Yes, unfortunately I think there will be, and it's a shame, because in a perfect world pupils would feel confident to speak to their pastoral teachers, to other members of staff, to senior pupils, to the buddies, the mentors, but particularly to people at home as well, who can then contact the school. But there are definitely pupils who will not do that for one reason or another, and this gives another option that from the security of their bedroom at home at night, if they want to send it then, or they want to send it, it could be over the weekend, it could be on holiday. It means that they can actually get that information out there, and we can pick that up and we can look at responding to that.
Do you think the school are doing enough to prevent bullying?
It's a very good question. I feel that we're doing as much as we possibly can, but there is always room for improvement, and we're always looking at mechanisms so that we can improve how we deal with bullying and for harmful relationships and the aspects of that affect pupils. We have a really robust policy called Respectful Relationships, which is for every educational setting in Scottish Borders Council, and that was based on the findings of youth commissioners, the majority of whom were Hawick High School pupils. So it's a really good policy that is a very protective policy, and there's an awful lot about the follow-up to make sure that people who've been affected by harmful behaviour feel supported and that they've been listened to. But we are doing more, and one of the reasons that we've spent a fair amount of money on the Tootoot app is because we're running a pilot called Mentally Flourishing Schools, because the well-being and health of every young person kind of sits above everything else. You need to feel well and healthy before you can learn effectively. So this is another layer of protection for our young people, and it means that we can record incidents and types of harm, types of bullying very effectively, and we can look at targeting support, look at linking in with the pupil council, looking at linking in with our senior pupils and pupils at all levels to make sure that we're providing the support network they would like.
When and why did you decide to launch Tootoot with the school?
It was really because we have a fantastic teacher called Miss Binney, that some of you will know, who teaches physical education in the high school, and she knew a friend who was involved in setting up Tootoot, and it's an app that's used by many schools in Scotland and the rest of the UK, and it was really through Miss Binnie making us aware of it, and then getting money from the Scottish Government for the Mentally Flourishing Schools pilot that enabled us to make contact with them, and Mr McClory's been very supportive of taking Tootoot on board, getting it in use, and possibly even looking at all the primary schools becoming involved in it as well, so that when pupils come up from primary school, they're confident in how to use it and will continue to do so.
Are the school going to be doing any special lessons or assemblies for Anti-Bullying Month?
They're not, but we have, which is to say that we've had house assemblies, and we've still got to have a house assembly for Douglas House on respect, which is one of the major components of DARE, which is a school motto. And we're mentioning the launch of Tootoot through that, but what we will be doing is through personal support and PSD. We'll be using computer suites to make sure that every pupil gets a chance to get logged on and get the system up and running. So we're generally launching it, and with the help of Hawick High News, we're getting awareness up, but through the house assemblies and then also through individual lessons, we will make sure that everyone is online and is registered with it.
Is there anything more you want to say?
I would actually, Alex. I'd like to just say that every pupil should feel safe and secure at all times, and that really helps them with their learning and meeting the challenges that learning presents, and also to make the most of the opportunities that school gives pupils. So I just hope that this gives another layer of protection and another method by which pupils can make sure that they do get help. So never ever keep problems that result from bullying, whether it's online, face-to-face or behind your back. Never keep it to yourself, always share it, and if you can't do that face-to-face, then please use Tootoot and we will respond as quickly as we can to try and make situations better. Thank you.
Thank you.